My grandmother never existed.
The box in my father's closet, for as long as I can remember, my grandmother didn't exist. Not officially. Not in family photos, not in stories, not in the easy way other people talk about their grandparents. If I asked about her, my dad's face would just close like a door swinging shut on its own. My mom would suddenly remember something on the stove. Nobody ever told me to stop asking. I just learned, the way kids learn things they're never actually taught, that this was the one subject that made the air in the room change. By the time I was 12, I had a name for the feeling, but not for her. I didn't know what she looked like. I didn't know if she was alive or dead. I just knew that saying her name out loud felt like breaking something, so I stopped asking. Kids adapt fast when silence is the only answer they're ever going to get. I didn't think about her again for years. Not really. She became this shape in the back of my mind, not a person, just an absence with a weight to it. Then 3 years ago, my dad was moving, and I was helping him clear out the house he'd lived in since before I was born. Closets nobody had touched in decades, boxes that had just accumulated the way things do in a house where nobody wants to look too closely at what they're keeping. Behind a stack of old coats that smelled like cedar and dust, I found a shoebox. The tape holding it shut had gone yellow and brittle with age, curling at the edges like it had been sealed a lifetime ago and never opened since. My dad wasn't home. He'd gone to grab lunch. And I remember standing there, box in my hands, feeling like I already knew I shouldn't open it. Like some part of me understood that once I looked inside, I wasn't going to be able to unknow whatever was in there. I told myself I'd just peek. I sat down on the closet floor and peeled back the tape. Newspaper clippings first. So old and folded so many times they were splitting apart at the creases, like paper that had been read and reread until it couldn't hold together anymore. Then letters typed, official looking, some of them stamped, police correspondence. And then underneath all of it, a stack of pages in handwriting I didn't recognize at first. Then I did. It was my father's handwriting, but younger, rounder. A teenager's hand. I started reading and the room got very quiet around me. My grandmother had been kidnapped. My father was 16 when it happened. There had been a ransom demand, an amount my grandfather couldn't raise fast enough. The police got involved. There were negotiations, timelines, phone records, and then page after page the trail just stopped. No arrest, no suspect, no body, nothing. The case went cold, and at some point, someone in my family made a decision, maybe without ever saying it out loud, that the only way to survive what happened was to never speak her name again. To erase her so completely that even her own grandchild would grow up not knowing she'd existed at all. The letters my father wrote were the part I couldn't get through without stopping. Pages of them. A 16-year-old boy writing to a mother who was never going to read a single word, begging her to come home, promising he'd be better, asking her if she was scared, if she was cold, if she even knew he was looking for her. I sat on that closet floor for a long time. Eventually, I heard the front door open downstairs. I put every clipping, every letter, every page back exactly where I'd found it. I taped the box shut again as best I could. I never told my father what I saw. I still haven't. And now, when people ask why my dad never talks about his mother, I understand the silence in a way I wish I didn't. What I don't know, what actually keeps me up some nights, is whether that silence is something you inherit, whether somewhere down the line, my own kids are going to find a box of mine, and wonder the same thing about me.